Heated controversy over the homeless crisis continues to boil in Koreatown, where the city plans to put up an emergency shelter. Residents say they've been blindsided because that decision was made without their input. Tonight, CBS 2's Randy Page is live in downtown LA with what the city is saying. Randy?
Susie, concern over this proposed shelter has been gathering momentum in Koreatown. We've seen weekend protests involving 50, maybe 100 people. Today's protest, there were far more than that.
We're gonna help homeless people with this money.
Hundreds of people, many who live and work in Koreatown, raised their voices in protest today of a proposed emergency homeless shelter to be built here.
Wilshire in Vermont is one of the most expensive pieces of land in Los Angeles. Not only that, but there are more suitable pieces of land where we can spend $1.3 million to better build, bigger facilities.
Protest organizers say they aren't opposed to the idea of an emergency homeless shelter, but they're upset they were not included in the process of deciding where it should be placed.
The Koreatown community is really upset.
graceyoo with the Environmental Justice Collaborative had this to say to City Council President Herb Wesson.
And if it makes sense, we will support it. We're not against the homeless. We are against you trying to ram things down our throat without listening to us.
Councilmember Wesson is also saying that it might be a good idea to have a city-wide town hall meeting to talk not only about this particular proposed emergency homeless shelter, but others that are being considered across the city as well.
Now at 10, there were long lines in Koreatown where voters got to decide whether to split the area into two separate neighborhoods. Voters were asked if they want to divide Koreatown and add a new area called Little Bangladesh, which would have its own neighborhood council.
KCAN's Crystal Cruz is live in Koreatown at this hour with an update on that vote. Crystal?
Hi, Jeff. Thousands of people came out to vote tonight. A lot of people still here, even though the polls closed at 8. A lot of people still trying to get their vote in. Some say no to any type of change in Koreatown. Others say it's definitely time.
My father and my grandfather in heaven, watching all these Korean people here, all these people voting, it's unbelievable. It's really hard for me to hold back the tears.
For James Kim, Koreatown is a special place that he says past generations close to him helped build.
My father's friends, they brought tiles, roof tiles, imported from Korea to make it look like Korean town.
Thousands of people lined up to vote on creating an additional neighborhood council in Koreatown named Little Bangladesh Neighborhood Council to encompass a large part of the area.
It's one thing to go ahead and try to expand, but when you try to take 60% plus of the community, I think you're saying we want to take over.
Neighborhood councils are given thousands of dollars each year from the city and act as the middleman between city departments and the community. Some from the Korean community fear if a Bangladesh neighborhood council is voted in, K-Town could change.
Koreatown, a politically dormant community in Los Angeles, has woken up. To understand what's happening here, you need to know a little bit about local politics in LA. The city is divided into 99 neighborhood councils. In this area, the neighborhood council is called Wilshire Center Koreatown, even though the neighborhood includes not only Korean immigrants, but also Latinos and Bangladeshis. Last month, members of the Bangladeshi community filed a petition to subdivide Koreatown's councils in two. The new council would serve over half of what now is overseen by the Koreatown Council. But then they revealed the name. Wilshire Center Little Bangladesh Neighborhood Council. Now, this didn't mean half of Koreatown would suddenly become Little Bangladesh. Koreatown would just get a second neighborhood council to deal with issues like trash pickup and neighborhood festivals.
We're on the corner of 6th and Western, pretty much the heart of Koreatown here.
What was this area like during the riots? What happened here?
It seemed like war, pretty much, right? A good portion of this was pretty much on fire, mobs, looting. It was just mad pandemonium, pure chaos.
He grew up in the neighborhood, saw it destroyed during the LA riots, and then helped with a 25-year rebuilding effort after large parts of Koreatown were burned to the ground.
Our parents came here and they were like Koreans that lived in America. Today we are Americans that happen to be Korean. And that's a big difference in how we approach the problems that face us.